Hello, and welcome back to Diecast Graveyard. My name is Paul. Today's build is to welcome back my friend Keith from Outlaw Speed Shop. Now, Keith was one of the premier builders of the diecast cars in the community and decided to take a couple-year hiatus because he got burned out, and it happens to everybody eventually. He decided to go out and start doing some RC car stuff, and as you can tell, everything he does in the diecast cars, he put into his radio control cars. But we're happy to welcome him back. When I heard he was coming back, I decided to approach him and say, hey, look, let's go ahead and do a buddy build to welcome you back. And he said, I'm all for it. So the theme is Chevelle. Now, the only stipulation I said to Keith is, look, I know you're like the master of this, but I don't want to do a post-apocalyptic build. It's just not my forte. And I didn't want to do a gasser. So we decided on a Chevelle. Now, my dilemma is, which one do I use? I've got this black one on the left, which is really awesome. Kind of looks like the old Spoiler series. And I've got the regular Chevelle that comes out of the Faster Than Furious cars. And they're both great cars, but I had to make a decision on one, so that's what happened. Anyway, let's go ahead, grab your favorite adult beverage, and join along, and welcome our friend Keith back from Outlaw Speed Shop into the diecast community. Let's go ahead and get started with today's build.
It's time to start the autopsy.
So I decided to go with the black car. I got the post drilled out, or at least the mushroom caps taken off. Let's take this apart and see what we got here. Now, this is an absolute beautiful car, but there are some tampos on the sides here, like the SS decals, the stripes on the roof, etc., and we're going to show you how to take those off. It's not necessary to completely repaint a car sometimes, as the paint job underneath is really cool, but you're not crazy about the graphics. We'll definitely do a wheel swap, and I'm liable to color in the engine. Here's the windshield. That looks great. Let's go ahead and move on. Here I've got a Sharpie, actually a dry erase marker, and the dry erase marker has acetone in it. Mind you, it's very diluted. Now, some people say, oh, just use acetone. Well, if you use the full strength stuff, you're liable to wear off the paint or the clear finish that's on there protecting the car. So you got to be careful with that. You may have to do several applications with the dry erase marker, but just keep doing it till you see it disappear. Now, if you do it too much, you're liable, like I said, to affect the clear coat that's on there and give you a dull finish. But fortunately, if you're going to clear coat over new decals, that'll take those off and it'll shine it up really nice. Just keep doing this until you get the results you want, and it works really great. And there's today's tip from your Uncle Paulie. Now that we got this all cleaned up, and after I removed the decals or the tampos with the dry erase marker, I went back over it with some Zep degreaser and then rinsed it off with water. Here we're using the micro set, and we're going to put on the new decals. Now, these decals I designed with my graphics software, but I printed them up with my iColor 560 printer. Now, this is a true white toner printer. And with your decals that you put on your cars or your larger models and like that, it'll print a layer of white underneath, so you can put them on any colored car. That's really cool, and this machine was actually made to do t-shirt transfers. So if you're interested in actually doing white toner transfers or making your own decals, etc., get a hold of me at diecastgraveyard@gmail.com for any information you need. I made a template of the car, and I took some really accurate measurements in millimeters, which really helps. Now, when you take these measurements, you need to make sure that you do straight-on 90-degree angles, because if they're at a weird angle, or like at a 45 or something, you're not going to get the true measurements down in order for you to place the decals. So it's critical that you get those measurements placed properly. That's looking pretty good. I like that. Now you can still see the shadow of the racing stripes that are on the top of the car. But we're going to cover those up with some other artwork. Let's go ahead and speed this up and get things moving. That's looking really good. I test fit all my decals ahead of time, and how I do that is by printing them on paper first, cutting them out to where they're going to go, like cut out the wheel wells, etc., before I print them on some decal paper. That way there I don't waste the decal paper. Now it's time for the wheel swap. Now my friend Keith absolutely loves the color black, so pretty much a lot of the stuff he does is in black. And that's one of the reasons I went with his car. That looks really good. It's going to accent the car beautifully. Now I'm going to use a little bit of the UV super glue and just put a drop on there to hold those axles in place. Now this car here with the interior, it's got the little tabs that'll hold the axles in place. But if you want to make sure that they're not going to rub in the wheel wells, this is a really good alternative. Hold it for approximately 5 to 8 seconds. I prefer a little bit longer. And you'll make sure that it dries. Wasn't long enough, didn't have enough glue. There you go. Once you get those in place and you get the glue to cure, you can move on to the next step, which is what we're going to do right now. I decided to go ahead and chrome in the engine. Now I'm using these little makeup brushes that I got off my Amazon Marketplace page. Check out the link in the description of this video for all the stuff that you need to do your diecast hobby. Now I've gone through and I've done a lot of research on this stuff just to be able to allow you to buy the stuff without having to search everywhere for it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that little bell to be alerted to any future videos that come out. If you're getting anything out of these videos, go ahead, hit that subscribe button and mash that like button. You're definitely helping me out. And if there's something you'd like to see, go ahead and, well, what am I going to say? All right, yeah, go ahead and put it in the comments. Let me know. Now, we've let those decals set for approximately overnight. Now we're going to come back in with my Diecast Graveyard 2K Clear. This stuff here, folks, will allow your cars to look like glass. Check out my webpage at diecastgraveyard.com for the 2K Clear and the hardener that goes with it. The mix ratio is 4-to-1, and it works out fantastic. And like I said, it'll make your cars look absolutely like glass. Look forward to hearing from you. And here's what we got. We got the body all painted up with the clear coat. We got those beautiful decals there that I made for my iColor 560. There was a little abrasion on the back driver's side fender that clear coat fixed up. Here's the wheels, the beautiful Samed wheels, and they definitely set this car off. I detailed the headlights, the tail lights, and the signal lights. Here with the interior, I went ahead and I chromed up the engine. That looks great. And here's the windshield. Let's go ahead, put everything together, and give my creation life.
Life! Life, do you hear me? Give my creation life!
And here's what we started with. This Hot Wheels Chevelle. This car was a lot of fun. And, of course, the main purpose of this was to welcome our friend Keith back to doing these diecast videos. I know you missed him. I sure did. But it's going to be great to have him back. He's got a big build-off coming up here in the near future. And here's what we got to. Look how beautiful this car turned out. We clear-coated the decals I made with my iColor 560. And again, if you have any questions about that, get a hold of me, even if you just want to find out some information. We use the dry erase marker to take off all those tampos. And again, just take your time with it. It's going to take a few times. Now, you can use acetone, but the thing is, the acetone is very harsh and it's liable to take off your finish. So just be careful with that. But we put everything back together after we clear-coated the decals, and this is how it turned out. Now, what Keith doesn't know is that I'm going to send this car to him, again, to welcome him back into the diecast community, and I'm looking forward to a lot more videos that he's going to put out. So make sure you get over to his channel and check out Keith's video, and it's going to be great. We're definitely glad to have him back for sure. But make sure you hit that subscribe button, click on that like button, and I got a lot more videos coming out in the very near future. Thanks again for joining me today on Diecast Graveyard. It's been a lot of fun, and again, I got a lot more stuff coming up. We got the 4 Horsemen build at the end of this month. We've also got the super huge, ginormous Phase 2 that is going to be due the end of this month. And there'll be some videos coming out on that. Thank you so much, and cheers.